Hey guys, it's Samantha from Samantha Designs. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you for stopping by. I wanted to start sharing a project that I'm going to be working on for this month. It is Social Work Month, if you were not aware. So I'm making some gifts for the social workers who work for me. I am going to make them little mini albums. These are 3x3, and it's going to go a cute little paper Volkswagen Bug. I saw this on Scrapbook World's YouTube channel and wanted to try it for myself. And I've decided I am going to be using this Petticoats and Pinstripe. This is by Lori Whitlock, and Echo Park is the one who makes this. I got this on sale, I want to think last year. It does come with the stickers, and the really cool thing is that I also have the digital elements pack, the number 3. So some of these elements I can print more of if I so choose, and then I can also resize them to fit this, which is pretty cool. But I'm starting off, like I said, with a 3x3. Scrapbook World actually uses chipboard to make hers and then wraps her chipboard like you typically do with any scrapbook. I'm not doing that because I don't think this is not going to be a very big book. It's only going to have 3 sections. And so I just used 110-pound cardstock and cut 2 pieces that were 3x5 and then stuck the 2 spines together, so the spine is really hard, and then I'm going to build it up from there, but I'm going to show you that process in just a little bit. Also in a scrapbook trade that I did last year, if you're interested in that, all these goodies came in that package, and you can see that unboxing video here on my channel, and I'll link that down below so you can find it. But I got all these little goodies, and because, oh, I didn't mean to take that out, but it's still cute. I got all these little cutie goodies, these frames, some bumblebee stuff, flowers, these little doilies that were absolutely beautiful, some sentiment tags. This is actually very heavy. This is probably resin, but because of the mustard color that's kind of throughout most of these, I'm going to use this with this collection because I think it will match pretty well. And that way I'm using up some of the cute gifts and goodies that someone gifted to me, a friend from back in North Carolina. So I'm planning to use these elements as well, along with the sticker pack, and who knows what else I might pull out. But I hope you'll stick around, watch the process. Thanks so much. Let's get started. Okay guys, so I'm getting started here with some 110-pound cardstock that I am cutting down. This is actually what I get from Michael's. It is the Recollections, and I'm cutting it down to 3x5. Then I'm going to score it on the 5-inch side at 2 inches. And I just need 2 of those pieces so I can make that cover for the 3x3 scrapbook. So then you're of course going to burnish your fold lines, make them nice and crisp, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then to secure this, I'm using a couple of different widths of tape that's really strong. You could also use your liquid glue if you wish to, but I decided just to go with this nice tape that I have on hand. I think I get this from Daiso, and what's kind of different is that this fatter width or bigger width, I can't tear that for some reason, so I do have to cut that. But they sell it in different widths, and all the other widths except for that really, I think it's probably 1 inch maybe. I have to cut that, but everything else I can tear like you would do any other tape on the market. I don't know why that is. It just seems to be the case. And then I use my reverse tweezers to help get off the backing of tape like this. It just seems to work better for me. I see people use pokey tools or Some people are able to do it with their nails and everything. I tend to not be able to do very well with my nails, so I just use my pokey tool. And then all you got to do is line these two pieces up, and I take my time here because I want to make sure they line up really, really well. And then you just kind of stick those down, rub it really good so that it adheres really well. And that gives you a 2-inch base, and yeah, I'm tapping it because it's really, really heavy, so it's really good. Now I'm going to make the envelopes that are going to go inside. I'm putting 3 in each of the scrapbooks because I'm making several. And for this, the envelopes are 3.5 by 6.5, and so I make several of these. So I think I ended up making 6 different scrapbooks and the little buggies that they're going to go in. So I made tons and tons of those. And then, of course, you're going to have to score these to make your envelopes. I'm getting my scoreboard back out. On the 3.5, no, this is the 6.5 side, excuse me. On the 6.5 side, you're going to score at 3 and at 6. And then you're going to rotate it 100 degrees, leaving that 1/2 inch score at the top. And then you're going to score it again at another 3 inches to give you a 1/2 inch. And you're going to do that with every envelope that you're making. So again, scoring on the 6.5 side at 3 and 6, and then on the 3.5 side you score at 3 inches. Now you're going to put that 1/2 inch side to your right, and you're going to cut on the very bottom score line up to that first score point, and then you're going to cut at an angle on the other side. So it makes that little kind of miters that corner a little bit for you, and on the other side, on the other corner, you're going to miter that as well, and that creates your envelope shape. So you'll see me do it a little differently here. I'm going to miter it first, and then I'm going to cut up into that point where I mitered. And then I'm going to go back to the other corner. I'm going to flip it and miter the corner on the other side. I hope that makes sense. I'm hoping that if you see this will make sense. You might want to check out Scrap World's tutorial. Hers might be a little easier to follow. But then, of course, you're going to fold on all of these lines. And I've realized I was folding the wrong way. You always fold toward the bump of the score line. That's typically what you would do. Helps prevent cracking. And then that makes your little envelope shape. So cute. And I made tons and tons of these for all of these lovely scrapbooks. Now I decided that I wanted to not have a little notch in my envelope because I am going to put a little section, a little piece in there. And I don't know why I always think I can do these punches just in my hand. I can't do that. I have to put it on the table now. But I did score this here, and then I'm going to end up putting pattern paper on all of this, and I wish I'd done that a little differently. I should have put the pattern paper on, then put the little notches in there. See, I'm showing you this. I'm like, oh, I should have done this differently. So I'm going to then cut my pattern paper, and here is where I'm going to start cutting down pieces to mat all of these different sections. I did realize this is 12 by 12, so I do need to get that little strip off the end off the Echo Park paper. You could save that little strip if you want to and use it on other projects as well when it has that little green pattern that you just saw. For the pattern paper, for pretty much almost everything I do, these are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. So that's what's going to cover all the envelopes. That's going to cover the front. The inside portion for the envelopes are 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, everything. So I got happy with that. So here's all my piles. I cut different patterns up, you can see here, to cover all my envelopes that I'm making for all the different scrapbooks. Again, I made 6 of these, and this was over several days, so this wasn't done quickly. And then I think to save on some time, I decided when I was putting these on, I was just going to use tape runner. And I didn't put sticky all the way up to the top because I knew I was going to have to cut out that notch at the top because I should have done it with the powder paper on. So I just didn't go all the way up to the top because I didn't want to have to get residue in my punch, because then that just makes life a little bit more difficult, you know what I'm saying? So I just put that up there, then I get my punch back out, and then it takes a little bit of time to get it lined back up because I'm trying to line it up perfectly, and then I'm going to have to again use my hands to push down hard on the thing. So this takes a little bit of time, and you just do the best you can. I'm eyeballing it. I wasn't really concerned if it was a little crooked or anything like that. I was just going to do the best I could. There we go. So I end up putting powder paper on the other side as well. But what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to add the tape. Again, I'm using, this strong tape adhesive. I did find later a lot of this, for some reason, I don't know if it's just this brand, it kept coming undone. So I ended up going back and adding some liquid adhesive to a lot of these envelopes just to make sure they stayed secure, because I did not want this coming apart on the recipients. That would be embarrassing. Give somebody a gift and it comes apart on them. That would be bad. Now I'm going to get some twine. So this is how I end up adding these envelopes to the cover. The twine just gets tied together to the cover. So that way you're not doing those little fins and having to worry about any of that. So it makes it much, much simpler. So Scrapbook World, thank you for doing that little time saver. Here I'm using my Craft Bond Elmer's glue. I love this stuff. And I'm just going to put a little bead right in the crease line of the envelope. And then I'm going to take that lovely piece of twine that I have, and I'm so glad I used up something in my stash. I used up all my twine. I was so excited to use up something instead of hoarding it. So I put it right there in the corner, and then I put these aside to dry because this is wet glue. And I am so sorry here. I did not do the filming of closing it up and doing the powder paper on the other side, but that's real simple. Now I will tell you, to the knot that I tied, when I tied this on, all these envelopes on, I did put a little bit of Craft Bond underneath that knot to really make sure it did not go anywhere. And believe me, by the time it dried, that thing was not moving. So I was glad I had done that. And then I'm just going to trim down this twine so there's not so much overhang here. And this is such a simple book. It is so, so cute. And then you're going to make the portion that's going to go on the inside of those, and that's where your recipients can put on pictures. So again, this is 2 by 7/8 by 2 7/8. Very simple, and I'm just using regular, I think this is 60 pound or 85 pound, I can't remember, Recollections craft cardstock that I made all these pieces with, and it just slides right in there. Simple, easy peasy. And I am going to decorate this with pattern paper, and you'll see that in a little bit. But yeah, I made tons of those, all of them to go in there. Okay, for the front, again, 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. I picked the prettiest pattern in that Echo Park petticoats. I'm in pinstripes, in my opinion. So I really like this. It's floral. It is so, so pretty. And that's what I use for the outside covers. For this, I decided to use up some of that tape, which I do from time to time. You can use liquid glue, whatever works for you. I like using up my tape because I have more of it. I burnish that down, and then I again use my tweezers to get all of those backings off, so I can put it on the front of my scrapbook here. It is so cute. So cute. I'm so glad I did this. This was a great project, and it took a little bit of time because I was making so many, but it really was not time consuming. I was so happy when I had done it that I had taken the time to do it. I thought they all turned out really cute. I'm hoping the recipients got them and liked them. I thought they were just turned out really precious. I would have enjoyed getting something like this. That's for sure. So again, I'm just taking off the release paper. I'm going to use the same thing. And this is the floral print I did use on all of them for the front and back of the scrapbooks. And you see me, there's some tape hanging over the edge, and I just kind of tuck that back in. So there's nothing sticky hanging out on the sides. And there you go. That's the main bolts of the scrapbook. Now I am going, of course, stick these little pieces inside, because that's where people are going to be able to put their photos. So you can put one on each side, so you have a total of 6 photos. And you can see here on this end, see where it's starting to come apart. Like I said, I eventually took some Elmer's glue, that crap on, and just put a little bead of glue, because I had a few envelopes that, not all of them, just a few, I think like 2 or 3, that just would not stay shut for whatever reason. So I went back in and just added that. And that was easy peasy. Now comes the fun part, decorating all the pieces. Now for the inside, the little pieces that are going inside the envelopes, I did take a piece of paper that's pattern paper, and I want to think this, yeah, this was 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, because I wanted it that 2 7/8. I wanted it to have a little frame, and then I have a little stitched square that I took. And if you watch Scrapbook Worlds, she makes it into like a Polaroid looking thing. My square wasn't quite big enough. I didn't really think it turned out to look like that, but it's fine. I still think it's super cute. And I just would run this through my die cut machine, all these pieces, and I had to be careful here because my square kept shifting on me. I should have taped it down. So that's what I did, and you can get about a 2 by 2 photo in the center of this. So that's something you would have to crop and maybe take, picture that's pretty small and crop it in a 2 by 2 would fit on this perfectly in the middle of the square. Okay, so I did all of those. Oh my gosh, there's tons of them. And then so when you put this up there, and I didn't tap that down all the way, I only would do the corner. So like I'm showing you here, I was going to glue down just that corner so that somebody could slip in a picture. Now I will tell you this, when I did this, so this is where I'm doing this, I made a mistake. I used my Elmer's glue to do this part, to put down those frames, and I wish I had not, because it leaked out enough that the whole corner is stuck. So you can't really kind of tuck a corner of a picture in like you might would like to. Instead, I would say use 1/8 of an inch score tape and then put it at the very top. So again, the recipient has a little bit more room to slip in that picture. I think that would have worked much, much better. And if I could have redone it, that's exactly what I would have done. But when you're making 6 of them, you're not redoing anything. So again, I would put this square on that one side, and then I would have covered the paper on the other side. And it was 2 by 7/8 again, but no, excuse me, 2 3/4 here by 2 3/4. And I just used tape runner because it was simpler, easier, and quicker to do it that way. And that made the little inserts to go inside the envelopes. Okay, so here is the decorating. I used doilies. I used a lot of washi tape. I have some washi tape that looks like stamps, and they're so pretty. I used ephemera that just came in my first spellbinders, and I did find out as you can see, with doilies, don't use tape runner. It doesn't work out. It just messes up the doily. You have to use liquid glue. So anyway, I used, like it showed at the beginning, I used some of those things that I had gotten in Happy Mail when I did a swap last year. I used whatever I thought would be cute. So here is where I'm going to just put on some music and you can watch me decorate. Okay, and then I'll be back in a little bit. these jewel border stickers come from Dollar Tree. I'm going to use these to decorate the spine of the book. I thought it just needed a little something extra besides just the twine, and because the twine is glued on, there's plenty of room for this. So these kind of long rows, but they are easy enough to cut. These are some of my little, I think they're Fisker scissors that are made to not get stuck on things or can cut sticky things. Yeah, they're Fiskers. I've had these forever. I love these little scissors. And with my small hands, these fit me just fine. So I end up putting this on the spine of the book on each side of the knot. And on the front, you'll see there that little teapot. That's from the ephemera pack or the sticker pack that came with the collection. I really think that turned out really well. The stickers I kept the front really simple with those stickers. So guys, I'm going to flip through here in just a minute the book so you can see it, and then there's some still shot pictures at the end of this. I hope you enjoyed this. I had such fun making this, and on my next video I'll show you how I put the little buggies together that these books are going to sit in, and that's how I give it to the folks that I made these for. These are for social workers for Social Work Month. I did these last month in March, which was Social Work Month, if you weren't aware. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you'll think about subscribing to my channel. Hit the red button, and of course you can hit the little bell for any kind of notifications if you want to know every time I put out a new video. I am trying to get a certain schedule for my videos. I'm not quite there yet, but I am uploading as much as I possibly can. I do know that doing voiceovers makes it a little bit more slower for me to get these up, but I will hope you will stop by again and check out my channel. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great one.